Detroit Lions fans, game day episode. Stay tuned to the end of this episode. It would behoove you to do that. We're going to get into some Detroit Lions content. Steve was just battling something. You let me know if you pick up on what Steve's battling. But we're going to get into this Detroit Lions content, Steve, game day episode. Second favorite episodes that we do. Where are we going with this thing?
Never tell Will your secrets. He'll betray you at the very first opportunity. That's the only thing I know in life. My 30 plus years of living, I know that I can't tell Will Ford my deepest, darkest secrets. Sit back, enjoy the show. Game day, chance for you guys to win a cool little prize at the end of the show. If you know what we do, comment whenever you want. But for those new watchers, new listeners, we'll put the explanation at the end. Will, big game. New York Giants coming to town. First time we've been home in like 3 weeks. Feels like an eternity since we've had a home game. So ready to get back to Ford Field, ready to get back to old Detroit Lions football where we're just being successful, Will. But let me ask you, I know I'm struggling over here. I'm really just captain in the struggle bus. What is your biggest concern when it comes to the New York Giants?
My biggest concern comes when it comes to the New York Giants is that pass rush. Outside of that D line, not much concerns me, to be honest. And the only reason why it concerns me truly is because of the struggles that we've had from our offensive line. I do feel like people are maybe not giving them a fair shake a little bit. Like it hasn't been great, but I feel like the Detroit Lions and Detroit Lions fans are used to having the number one or number two offensive line in the league. So that's really where this thing stems from. Are we the worst offensive line in football? No, but we're young. We're beat up, and there has been some free rushers to Jared Goff, and we know we've talked about it. We've really much buried what Jared is. So for those reasons, it's the D line for me, Steve. What's on your mind as far as the Giants go? What are you worried about?
1,000% defensive line. Listen, Giants, not a good team. 2-9. But they're hanging around some games. So I'm not going to say that they're truly a 2-9 team. I think they're a little bit better than what the record shows. And I'm not going to say I should flip their record and call them 9-2 by any means, but they fought. They went toe-to-toe with the Packers last week. They took the Chicago Bears to the brink the quarter or the game before that. So they're scrapping. They're not by any means rolling over, especially after they fired their head coach just a couple weeks ago. So this is still a team that's trying to play for something. What that is, I don't know. Moral support, victories. I personally don't know what they're really up to, but they're a scrappy team, I think. And then they got Jameis Winston, who's kind of on his second win. But that defensive line, Will, is where all the problems could lie for the Lions, just because of our protections haven't been great. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, I am just dying with these hiccups. I'm really, really trying to soldier through this one. But that defensive line can pose some problems with how we've had some protection issues. Not once, not twice, but a handful of weeks in our season. So could they be a potential problem there? Yeah. If you get a couple turnovers, you let these Giants stick and hang around through like halfway through the third. If it's still a ball game, I'm gonna start to wonder, Will. But yeah, defensive line. That's where most of my concerns are.
Steve, the defensive line could be a good thing as well, though, because the Giants this season have been known for just ole, just letting people run the ball as much as they want. How many rushing yards do you want to have today? Do you want 100? Do you want 2? What do you want, Steve? So the bottom line for me is, hey, it's the Detroit Lions about to run wild against these New York Giants. Are you expecting 100 yards from both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs?
From both?
I mean,
that would insinuate that we're going to get David Montgomery on the field. So until I start seeing that, I can't count on both. But Jahmyr Gibbs could have 100 himself before halftime. So one for sure. Maybe if this game starts to get to 42-10 or something, and we can start putting David Montgomery in there a little bit more, maybe. But I think Gibbs is a lock to get 100. I think he'll have it before halftime, honestly.
You guys heard it. Place those Vegas bets. If they don't hit, blame Steve.
Listen, I live in a very modest home. All right. Do not go placing massive bets. $10, $20, no big deal, but don't be betting the mortgage. Offensively, Will, what do you think our biggest strength will be against the New York Giants defense? We kind of talked about the trench matchup. What else are you looking for?
Outside of running the football, I'm gonna tell you this. Outside of our running backs running, Jared Goff might rush for 20 yards this game. You heard it here. Jared, you're taking the under.
You can put it at 12, and I'd still take the under.
Yeah. The biggest thing, if we're talking about outside of running the football, it would be play action pass. If I had to choose something else, definitely play action pass. Because when you can do whatever you want on the ground, Steve, naturally what comes next is the play action pass. So maybe a JMO pass over the top, or maybe we get Tesla involved. But it'll definitely be play action next for me. What you thinking as far as that offense goes, besides the run game?
I know. I really truly believe that it was a one game fluke, but I want to see St. Brown and Goff get back on track together. Hiccups have been ruining my life these last hour and a half, 2 hours. Yes, they are murderous. And I was sitting there like I was doing every trick under the book to get these bad boys out of me, and just nothing's working. It's completely unprofessional on my part. So hammer it away.
Just trying to run a business.
Yeah,
Just trying to run a
I'm
business.
with you. I think I should just fire myself if I'm being honest. I'm sure people in the comments are not going to be very nice to me. How can you get on a podcast with hiccups or something like that? But not JMO, St. Brown, Goff. I think last week was a one-time thing. Let's get it back on track. Let's get it rolling. I'm not worried about it. I just need to see it because I know a lot of people are freaking out, and I really don't know why. It was a one game fluke. Well, how do you feel about that?
Honestly, Steve, St. Brown is the type of guy, and I've been seeing all of the things, even down to talking about him podcasting. Is podcasting ruining his focus, and is that why he can't catch the football all of a sudden because he's on a podcast and yada yada yada? I'm not a big fan of the player podcast during the season. I think people that follow the show are well aware of that, but I don't think that's the reason why St. Brown is struggling right now. If I remember correctly, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, St. Brown had a wrist injury this season. And that's really important to catching the football. Hey, when I receive this ball, there's going to be some things going on with this wrist. There's no excuses for when you're a professional, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. There's some things going on. There's that injury bug has poked his head in a place to where it's very important for St. Brown. I think that's a part of what's going on with him. I don't think it's lack of focus. I don't think that it's lack of ability. I think that he's got something going on that he's battling through. He'll never go to the podium and tell you about it or make any type of excuses, but it is what it is. I think he's doing the best that he can, and I think that we'll continue to see him get better.
And from last week, the Eagles game, I think some of those targets were a little diluted. I mean, some of those balls were thrown at his shins, his feet. He dropped a couple. I'm not going to say that it's all on Jared Goff. St. Brown dropped one or two passes, but I think when I look at the 12 targets, if you go back and sit and actually watch that game, some of those balls were catchable to his standards, but his standards are set pretty high for himself. So when you have a ball thrown at your cleat laces, kind of hard to catch those. And I think a lot of those were either throwaways or some passes I know are designed to go low, especially if you're coming across the middle and you don't want to get your guy killed. Like he knows, hey, if this guy comes to this spot, throw it a little low so I don't die here. So a little watered down, but I just want to see that to kind of, I don't even know, just to help people relax, but I'm perfectly cool with it. It was one bad game out of 5 years they've been together now. So I could take one bad game every 5 years from those two and be able to sleep well at night. But Will, offensive player of the game, who you got here?
Listen, it's a no-brainer that that's Jameer Gibbs. If you didn't pick Jameer Gibbs, I'd be shocked. The New York
Ready to be
Giants give
shot.
okay, because they give up. They're just whoever wants to rush the football, they will just let you rush it however you want to rush the football. So, I got to go Jameer Gibbs for those reasons. Who you going with? Because it sounds like you got somebody that's going to surprise me. Tom Kennedy.
Oh, Tom Kennedy would have a Hall of Fame day if it were the Giants. But what's your stat line for Gibbs first? What do you think in
Uh,
yards?
I'm thinking he'll probably go something like 20. I'll say 21 touches. I think maybe 120 yards, two tutties.
That's it. 120
Yep.
yards.
I think David Montgomery's going to get some touches this game, man.
I'm going with. I think I picked him 3 weeks in a row, Will, and he's exploded all two out of the last 2 weeks. Jameson Williams. I think he's due for another one, another over 100-yard game, another touchdown. I'll say 6 total touches, 137 and 1 touchdown, Will. 6, 137, one tutty. You don't think so?
Book it, guys. Yeah, no, I, I, I just don't think that's going to be a game plan. I think you're going to watch us control it. Control it. I think there might be some play action plays to him, but I don't think that he's going to get that many touches in a game like this. But I hope I'm wrong because I love J Mo, man. I love watching him. He's exciting to watch, and maybe if he gets that many touches, I don't have to listen to the person in my section yell, "Give the ball to J Mo, throw it to J Mo," whatever. So maybe it'll finally make that person in my section happy, and it'll
Oh
make
no.
my Sunday a little bit more pleasant. Probably not. You're correct.
Did I tell you the story real quick? A little off topic, but Lions related, I guess. I think it was. I can't remember which game it was, but the guys that were sitting next to me and what they were doing. Every,
I don't know.
I think I told you off air. I don't know if I told this on camera. The guys next to us, first time at a game. I'm pretty sure these kids. I'm guessing like 18, 20, somewhere in that range, were absolutely just demolishing the moral in our section, just breaking us down mentally because Jamison Williams wasn't getting the ball. They kept
Oh, I think he
yelling
did. Yeah.
every single play for a JMO bomb. It was like 2nd and 1, and they're wanting a JMO bomb. Not the worst idea. Hey, if you're gonna do it on 2nd and 1. Still got 2 downs to pick up the first with Dan Campbell. But it got to a point throughout the game where they were yelling, F the Lions. This is why they never win in a game where they were winning, by the way. This is why this team always sucks. This is why they don't have enough explosive plays. They need another Calvin Johnson. Like, I was just like, oh my God, please just, if the Lord wanted to come down right now and take me home, like this would be the ideal time. Like right here. I can't remember which game it was. I'll look when you talk, but I don't know, man. Like I get it. I love Jameson Williams too. Big plays, exciting, but if we're winning the game, even Jameson Williams has said, like, as long as we're winning, and he even mentioned, like, I think we should be getting Tesla more involved instead of himself before he started getting some touches. So I don't think he cares about how many touches he gets. So if he doesn't care, why the hell do we care? Oh, it's because of fantasy football, who I have on my fantasy team, and he's been on the bench on and off. But don't make bets. If that's how you're going to chastise the team because your $20 bet didn't hit, like, come on, man. I'm just over it, Will.
Tom Kennedy for JMO right now live.
Not a chance. I'm in a playoff push here.
Unbelievable.
I need all hands on deck to get into these playoffs. It's like 2 weeks left. I'm clinging to that 6 seed like a cat on drapes, just holding on for my life. Will just I can't be making. And I think our trade deadline's passed anyway. There's no way you could even do it, or maybe I would.
TKA5. TKA5, you heard it.
Trade deadline
He's not
passed.
really a fan. Not
I
really a
mean,
fan.
look at your team. Maybe you should have made some moves a long time ago instead of coming in here to week 12 and trying to
Yeah.
squeak in somehow. I don't know if that's going to happen, but
We'll finagle
I
our
don't
way in.
know. Jameis Winston. How do you are you like if they weren't playing the Lions? What's your thoughts on Jameis Winston?
No risk it, no biscuit. He's gonna let that thing fly, baby. He's gonna let that thing fly, and that's why they have a puncher's chance in this game. And Jameis Winston isn't gonna be scared. He isn't gonna be scared. He's gonna come in. He's gonna be giving the speeches. He's gonna be telling the boys, "Hey, David has slayed Goliath before. What better chance than today?" In Detroit, it's gonna be a spiritual pregame speech. I can guarantee you. I can't wait to see it. I try to watch them when they pop up on Twitter and TikTok and everything else because sometimes they're motivational and inspiring. Sometimes they just make me laugh. Nonetheless, they're entertaining. So if you know Jameis Winston, you know Steve, he's not gonna go out without swinging. If he can get some positive momentum going, anything is possible. We need to punch him in the mouth early. I respect this game, but I also recognize it for what it is. If he is cold, he's freezing cold. So let's keep him freezing cold. Do you feel like Jameis Winston going into this game has a puncher's chance?
Let me start with this, William. I find his rah rah speeches rather corny. I don't think that guy could motivate me to run through a wet paper bag. If I'm being honest with you, just if I put that aside, though, I do
Yep.
remember, and it's on camera, I wanted the Lions to kind of possibly make a move for Jameis in the preseason when Kendon Hooker was just stinking it up, and we didn't really know what we were going to have in Kyle Allen. And I was looking, I think we were both looked at that Giants depth chart, and we were like, they got 3 quarterbacks. They're going to carry 3 all season because they're not going to cut Jackson Dart. They're paying Russell Wilson a lot of money. Does that make Jameis Winston a possible option to be cut in training camp? But they held on to him. It's kind of when it comes to football, he's he's sometimes reckless, but sometimes he's pretty damn good too. So it's kind of like, which Jameis are you getting? Are you getting Heisman Trophy, Florida State, #1 overall pick, Jameis Winston, or are you getting 176, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions, Jameis? Because that's kind of the one I'm pulling for tomorrow. The guy he's going to sling the ball, but I really feel like I would bet that he gives the Detroit Lions defense an extra possession with a turnover, either a pick or maybe a hutch strip sack. But I can almost count on an extra possession from Jameis. But he's great. I mean, not great. Let me take that back. He's probably the best backup in the NFL, I'd say right now, and he's just on a bad team. But I would take him on the Lions, especially after the Hendon Hooker experiment. And we talk about bringing in some people to make this quarterback room a little bit more competitive. I would have been all for it in the preseason, but I need that terrible Jameis tomorrow, William.
If Jameis goes out and gives you what you've been begging for,
Defensive
that
touchdown.
that defensive touchdown, can I count on a crawfish dinner from you for free? Like you're gonna set me up. We eating those crawfish,
Crab legs or crawfish?
crawfish.
I mean, I don't know where you get crawfish in Michigan without going out
Oh,
somewhere,
you're
but
next. Hey,
I
buddy.
love me some
Yeah, you're next
crawfish.
day. Yeah, you're gonna come out those pockets. You're gonna next day air some of those bad boys for us. Those
Oh, I
pockets
know.
aren't deep, Steve. People don't know.
I can make them. They're not expensive. I just don't know where you get good crawfish without ordering them online somewhere. But I love crawfish. I'll smack 20 pounds of those bad boys myself. Fun story. Went to Louisiana. Old Army friend of mine lived down there. We went down there for a bachelor party. This dude was eating crawfish on like some of the craziest things I've ever seen. Mayo sandwiches with crawfish, William. I shit you not. It's absolutely. It's not good. It's just very like, what are we doing here? Like, we got some money. We're not poor. Like, we're not homeless. We can go out and have some like crawfish mac and cheese, crawfish soup. Like, it's phenomenal. I'll eat it, but crawfish and mayo sandwiches were a little bit below the Steve Perkins recipes, I'd say. I'll try
I
anything
got.
once.
I'm not gonna knock it till I try it.
You can knock it. It's not very good. But I mean, yeah. So the bet is, or the deal is, if we get a defensive touchdown, a pick six from
Yeah,
Jameis, we'll order some
yeah,
crawfish and do a little crawfish boil.
1000%.
Count me in. I'll probably burn the whole house down, but we'll try for
All right, deal.
it.
Wait
Defensively,
wait for the pictures.
what do you, for the fans? Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
house
yeah,
will just be burnt
absolutely.
to rubble, just a standing stack of bricks. Defensively, kind of hinted at it. I think we're going to get some extra possessions, but what do you think? Let Jamison Williams go back to his Heisman Trophy winning days?
He's gonna have a horrible day. He's gonna have a horrible Sunday. Is my true expectation. And then that's not to disrespect him because we've given him his flowers. We've said that if he gets hot, he can perform very well. But that's not what I would expect coming into Ford Field. Ford Field. I mean, Steve. Not only do I think he's gonna have a terrible day, I think that we're gonna see Jack Campbell sack him. I think we're going to see Jack Campbell lead us in tackles with double digit tackles with 11. I think that we're going to see Jack Campbell also have a tipped football. So, tipped football, sack, 11 plus tackles, Jack Campbell, defensive player of the game. Am I nuts?
No, but I think Jack Campbell might be at your house where those dogs are acting up right now. He might be knocking
Hey,
on the
they're
front
hungry.
door.
They're hungry for some Jack Campbell.
I mean, I don't think any of those are hot takes. Jack Campbell is just playing like the best linebacker in football. I think I said it the other day. Like, he's top 5 in tackles. He's making plays. I think he's got 4 or 5 sacks on the season, which is pretty damn good for a middle linebacker. So he's just all over the place. He's a one man wrecking ball. So yeah, I don't think you're nuts. I think he could very easily be defensive player of the game, William. But something about it, just I feel like Hutch is going to have a game tomorrow too. I think he's going to have 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and he's gonna punch one out. I think he's gonna have a big game. 2 sacks, another tackle for loss, and I think he's gonna punch a football out of someone. I don't know who, but I can see it. But also, real quick, let me ask you this while we're figuring out some situations here. How do you feel? You think DJ Reed's gonna play tomorrow? Because I saw he was activated.
I tell you what, if I'm the Detroit Lions, I don't bring back DJ Reed against the Giants. And again, I'm not. Sometimes I feel like we get on here and stuff comes off as disrespectful. But the Giants are on their third quarterback. Their #1 receiver is banged up. They're having big time trouble stopping the run game, even though they have an awesome defense. Like I don't even think we mentioned Dexter or nose guard
Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence. Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, their D line is, even though they've been giving up some to the run game, uh, I still feel like, Steve, this is the New York Giants who have been struggling throughout the season. So because of those reasons, we should take care of business. I don't think that we should have any problems with the Giants, Steve. So I don't know. Like, I don't mean that from a disrespectful point of view, but I wouldn't send out DJ and under those circumstances. I let him get another week healthier, and I'd wait for Thanksgiving Day, big time football game against the Green Bay Packers. So if they do put him out there, Steve, I would expect that he is 110% ready to go. Do you think he's going to be out there Sunday?
No, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like I don't think it's disrespect. I think it's just Dan saying, "Hey, let's give this injury a little bit more time. Can we probably beat the Jets or the Giants? We could probably beat the Giants and the Jets on the same day, if I'm being honest. But can we get past the Giants and focus on the Packers without anyone else getting hurt? Because I think the Packers is the bigger game, division game. Let's get through New York, get everyone back. Rodriguez, same boat. I don't really need to see him tomorrow. I don't see a massive need for him to play. Same thing with Terran Arnold. I know he's not playing, but give these guys one more game. Let them rest up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's get back to work. So, no, I'm with you. I don't think you're nuts at all. I'm trying to be a little professional about it, too, because up front, yeah, we didn't even mention like who they have up front. Like Dexter Lawrence, a guy that you loved a couple weeks ago or a couple years ago at the trade deadline and offseason. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, that's their three big guys up front. But then I look at the rest of their defense. Like, I actually do kind of like Paulson Adebo. I was kind of looking at him, but he's out. I was looking at him when he was a free agent from the Saints and thought he might be a good fit here for some depth, but he's out. So their secondary doesn't make me lose sleep at night. So I think defensively they're good up front, but the rest is not so great. But they're staying in football games somehow. I haven't really done a deep dive into how, but this is a team that'll fight. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we're just overmatched for the New York Giants. But anything can happen any given Sunday. Never know.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's a fact. These are NFL caliber players who they're in the NFL for a reason. I just think that our NFL players are better.
Yeah, they 100% are. But sometimes it bites us in the ass because I said the same thing about the Minnesota Vikings a few weeks ago, and they came in here and took care of business. So you just never know what's going to happen. Game day score, Will. What do you got? What's your final score prediction?
Listen, Jameis is going to score some points, and by score, I mean he's going to lead some scoring drives. I don't think that he's getting in the end zone. So, out of respect for him just slinging it, I'm going to say that the Giants put up 17 points. They score a couple of touchdowns and get a field goal. Outside of that, I think that this defense holds the line like they've been doing. And then you're going to see a Detroit Lions team who's pissed off. The coach has been questioned as far as play calling and why we couldn't get it going last week. Players have been questioned. You just talked about St. Brown. People are talking about he has issues. He shouldn't be podcasting. He's dropping footballs. The offensive line has been called out. So I think the offensive line is going to have a chip on their shoulder. For those reasons, Steve, I'm going to say 38-17 Detroit Lions. This thing is a rout. Uh, we're happy our whole Sunday. I don't drink really much on. I'm not a big drinker, anyways, but I don't drink much on game days. But when we're really taking care of business, sometimes I'll have one. I think I'll probably have a drink tomorrow at the game, Steve. 38-17, Detroit Lions. Easy win, easy Sunday.
I
Where
like it.
you at?
I like easy Sundays, Will. It's probably one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. Forgot to put this up earlier. Somehow Lions are still clinging to a top five defense. I don't know how. It just blows my mind. But there's a number on here that stands out to me. Do you know what it is, Will?
What's that?
Points per game by the defense. We're a top 10 points per game defense. That is the number one stat I look at when I'm looking at defensive stats. I don't care how many rushing yards, how many passing yards. I don't care about any of that shit. I care about how many points this team gives up. 21.6. We'll round up and call it 22. Top 10 defense. That's what we've been dying for the last couple seasons, Will, is just have a top 10 defense to be very successful and just have a little bit more confidence. So I'm with you. I think it's going to be a comfortable Sunday. I'm going to go. I was at 38 was a nice number. That was a very good pick by you because you're making me pretty much say over or under, and I'm always going to bet the over. You're never out of an over, but you can be out on an under if that makes any sense to you. So I'm going to go 42-13. 42-13. I think they get one touchdown, two field goals. Easy win, victory beers, celebration. Got to do something because that giveaway tomorrow is absolutely trash. Did you see what that is?
No, I didn't see what they got.
It's a purse. It's a clear purse. I have no need for a clear purse, believe it or not. I got 5 of them hanging around. Like my wife has probably another 50 on top of that, on top of the 5 that I have. So why do I need a clear one? I don't know. It's junk. So 42-13, final prediction.
Are they giving away merces too, or just purses?
I don't know, but I mean, I might, if I can accessorize pretty well and put together like a nice little outfit, it might look good with me, but I'm not really counting on it.
So listen, I said it at the beginning of the show. Make sure you stay into the end. If you happen to know what this is, easy win for you. All you gotta do, if you're a loyal Detroit Den 313 member, and you would like a free hat from Will and Steve, all you have to do is comment what I ate the other day that just burned Steve's ass. What did I have that just drove Steve out of his mind? Comment it here, and most importantly, comment it under Spotify. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Comment it on Spotify. We're going to be looking to see who comments first what I had that Steve wanted so very bad. Just the other day, it was on a previous podcast. If you get it right and it's on the Spotify podcast of this episode, you'll win yourself a free hat.
Same deal for YouTube people if they don't watch us on listen on Spotify.
Nope, you gotta put it on the Spotify episode. So even if you didn't watch the Spotify episode and you're watching this right now, go over to the Spotify, right, and comment on the Spotify.
So
First one to do it gets the hat.
That rolls me into what we do on game day episodes for the YouTube peeps. Much appreciated. You know the deal. Guess the first touchdown score, last touchdown score, and the exact score of the game. You win yourself a $200 gift card to Rally House. First touchdown score has to be, or both touchdown scores have to be who possesses the football in the end zone. I say it every week to clarify. No editing your comment. You have up until game time, $200 gift card. It's not much. It's what we got. We ain't millionaires, unfortunately, or we'd be podcasting in one of Will's vacation houses somewhere in Las Vegas or Southern California, Hawaii, Paris, Spain, Ibiza, like just all over the world. That's the deal. Stick around. Hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.